almost there. No way. What is this? You're tuned in to the Eyes Open podcast, where secrets aren't safe and we see it all.
You know, if there's anything I can say is this has to be a very great time to be a podcaster, especially in the niche that I'm in, and for the people that are in the niche that I'm in, because there is absolutely no lack of content. That is for damn sure. Because the amount of garbage that they are shoving down people's throats is, you know, it's actually getting to be comical at this point. Because there's times where I have to actually pinch myself and say, is this real? Like, is this really going on? And when I say that, I mean in a sense of, are people, a lot of people that are falling for a lot of what's going on, are they really this stupid? And, you know, at this point, I have to say it's a rhetorical question. I don't even want an answer to that, because I think what's going on pretty much speaks for itself. But on today's Monday recap rant, for the people that are new to the show and they don't know what that is every Monday we do a recap of the week before, and man, was last week. I mean, I don't think anytime I've done the Monday recap that the week before hasn't been, you know, ever since probably the beginning of this year, hasn't been entertaining or something crazy going on. But anyways, for the people that are new to the show, the Monday recap rant, we go back, we talk about stuff, you know, all the top headlines and stuff that's, you know, went on from the week before. And boy, do we have a show for you today. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's being talked about in the mainstream. And to be honest with you, a lot of it is just pure deception, you know, on a very, very high level and high scale. And one of the biggest things, which I'm sure everybody's talking about, is Hanta. It's all everybody wants to talk about. Hanta, or Hanta, or whatever it is. But what I can tell you guys is this. The reason why I believe this is going to be the next C event 2.0 is because I'd already posted on my page, which I'm surprised that over a simple meme went, you know, viral and got like 100,000 views in less than a day, was talking about how this is nothing new, because these types of V words come along every 6 years, because you had the SARS happen in 2002, and then 6 years later, what was it? The SWINE. So, and it just goes on and on. You guys get the point. But, you know, the meme's on my page if you guys want to check it out. But it is interesting because these things come in 6-year intervals. And for people knowing how I break down the numbers and show you, 6 is a huge occult number for them. They use it all the time in everything that they do. So, as I always say, the devil's in the details, or the devil's in the numbers. You just got to look for it. And they put it everywhere. And there's no different with this type of thing. And people were like, oh, well, what's coming, you know, 6 years from now? I don't think you guys have to worry about 6 years from now. And I honestly, me being a Christian, I don't worry about nothing. I'll put that out there first and foremost, is I don't worry about anything. So I don't say that word as, you know, I don't think you guys need to worry. I don't think anybody should worry about anything. If you have Christ in your life, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But what I mean is, I don't think you should be concerned about 6 years from now or thinking about 6 years from now. You should be thinking about the here and now, right now, because there's so much going on as far as division, as far as fear, as far as lies. I mean, it's insane, and it's being pumped by the media like crazy. You know how the big C event went away for me? I entertained it for about a month or so. And then all of a sudden I told my wife and told my family, I said, look, I'm not buying into this anymore. I'm turning the TV off and I'm not dealing with it anymore. So that's exactly what we did. We turned off the TV, didn't deal with it, didn't care, and it literally went away. And that was inside of 2020. Took a trip down. I remember I took a trip to Florida, to a real nice resort area, and this was dead into the sea time when everybody was wearing stuff, and you know, they were, and which was crazy is, see, this is how you know when they want things put out there, because they're not holding anybody back right now about it. What I've noticed is, you know, we all have a little something to celebrate about, is my page is not being throttled as bad as it was a month or so back. So what that tells me is they want people talking about this. But the thing is, if I talk about it, it's not going to be to pitch fear on people, because I'm going to tell you that the truth is, and this is only my opinion based off the research I've done. The research I've done is that they are distracting you guys from a heck of a lot more. I mean, there's some real serious stuff going on that they don't want you guys knowing nothing about. And the other thing I find interesting is these types of things always come along when the people are getting fed up, they're rising up. Because like in 2019, remember the summer of 2019, we had the big Save the Children movement. People were fed up. And that's what's crazy is, and that's when we had the Epstein didn't unalive himself movement going on. Everybody was screaming that. Isn't that a little coincidental that Epstein's back being talked about and we're back in the, you know, get rid of these child traffickers? So people are speaking up. People are speaking up at way bigger volumes right now. And now that people are speaking up again, like they were during those times, that's when something like this just moves on in. So I find that to be interesting. It's the parallels between it are very interesting. So it seems like whenever the people are starting to rise up and get pissed off is when the fear starts to seep in. They start to push that out. And it works every time. And the thing is with me, it's not just with this, you know, whole sickness going around that they're trying to pitch on you guys. It's not just that. It's the fact that I'm surprised that there is still a big, huge amount of people that have faith in politicians at all at this point. I don't know how. I don't know how you could. Like they'll say, "Oh, Trump did this for me, and Trump's doing that." Like this is what I need to understand here. All these people will say, "Well, Trump's just such a good president, and he's doing this and he's doing that." And what happens? Okay, they can't name one thing that he's done, at least for the working class people. Oh, he's done a lot for his billionaire buddies up there on Wall Street. And honestly, people like me that are in a bigger tax bracket, okay, over the years, you know, he's done a lot for people like me. Just like they said, the actors should be championing him because he's saving them with his tax loopholes and all the stuff he signed into legislation to help his buddies. His whole people got mad at the trickle-down economics, which I didn't even have an issue with that, to be honest with you, because I believe, you know, when that was put into place, a lot of good stuff. Like I told you, when Trump, I voted for the guy 3 times. A lot of his policies I had no problem with a long time ago, and I wasn't even a political person. But see, that's where it gets messed up. When people wake up to what's really going on and say, screw these politicians, I don't trust none of them, all of a sudden, you're a liberal. It's like, no, I'm a realist, okay? I'm not a Republican or a liberal, all right? I'm a realist. I see what's going on. I'm completely awake to what's really going on. And I feel completely stupid for ever buying into that charade. And honestly, a lot of what woke me up was hearing George Carlin doing his stand-up talking about, you have owners, they own you. It's the truth. You do. You have owners, they own you. And you still have these people saying, oh, it's the election infection. It's because of the elections. Like, oh, come on, people. You really think that they need to do something like that and lock down whole economies just to rig an election or to win an election? Trust me, these people, even if it was about that, it's like Stalin said, it's not the vote that counts, it's who counts the votes. And who counts the votes? I have no delusions, okay, that or any faith in the system that they have set up at all. That whole system they've set up, I hope it all crashes to the ground, which is what they want to do. So that's the crazy part is, see, that's the whole point of what they're doing. And honestly, that's why this fits right into it, because the economy in the United States and the world cannot deal with going through lockdowns again. They just can't. They can't deal with it. It won't survive it again. And if it does, you ain't going to want to see the aftermath of it. But you also have people that call themselves health officials gaslighting you guys and telling you stuff that is not true. And that's what's wild is because, see, people like me that are not medical experts, even though I study a lot about biology, virology, all this type of stuff, I know a lot about it and about how this type of stuff works, but I'm not what you'd call a medical expert by any means. But the thing is, isn't it funny that the podcasters and the conspiracy theorists and the people like that were the ones who ended up being right during the whole C event? We were the ones who ended up telling you guys stuff that came true left and right. And that's because these people are bought and paid for. The ones who were telling you the truth during 2020 are the ones that got fired, lost their jobs, they got censored, they got even whole documentaries ripped off the internet. You had whole panels filled with doctors from California to all over that was saying this is a complete farce and we're not going to stand for it. We're going to tell the people the truth. And what did they do to them? They ripped them right off of the internet. They didn't even let these people speak. So they only gave you their experts that fell in line with what they were saying. And the reason I say they're gaslighting you guys is because they're telling you, oh, this is nothing like the C event. It's not like that at all. Oh, but you guys are just monitoring these people. But it's nothing to worry about at all. Even though it has a 40% chance of taking you out, and it's the only one that transmits human to human. I'm sorry to tell you, everybody, I'll explain to you what I think is really going on. But before I do that, you need to understand, if this is what they say it is, and it does travel the way they say, this strain can, you're all effed, okay? I don't like to curse when I don't have to, and I try not to, but I'm saying you're all screwed, big time. If that's really what it is, and, they'll scare you guys into getting another, if they can, so maybe they need to get those little nannies, okay? I'm going to say that. I don't even know what words they're flagging anymore, so I'm just going to, if I talk in code, you guys will know why. But maybe they're trying to get those into you guys more. That's a good possibility. That's what it's for. But I believe that this is not just set up for one reason, okay? It's a multifaceted type of event that can get multiple things done that they want to get done. And one of the big ones is reshaping your monetary system. I promise you, that is one of the big things that will come out of this. They even did it. They even had you guys seeing that during 2020. Oh, we don't accept cash. We don't accept any change or bills or anything. But I'm going to tell you guys what I believe is going on. Okay? Now, if like you guys have heard, I'm sure you guys have heard this. I've heard it, but I haven't looked into it. So I can't say definitively if this is true. They're saying that on page 33 of the effects of that thing everyone was taking or being forced to take or lose your job or whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. Another V word. what they're saying is one of the side effects is you will catch the hand. And because I'm like, again, I'm going to watch what I'm saying on here. You'll catch the hand V. And they're saying that's one of the things that is on the list of, and I don't know how true that is. Okay, so if somebody wants to post it in the comments or you know, direct us to a website where we can go look that up to see if that's true. Because if that's true, that's wild. But that goes along with what my beliefs are, what I believe is really going on. And I said it, okay? I said this. If you go back to the first, so the original episodes go back to, we're at episode, what, 174? If you go back to the original episodes, you'll see what I was talking about. And a lot of them they ripped down. I think they're still on. Rumble was the only place that let me post. And the original ones I posted on Rumble, I think it was on my older Rumble, though. It was called Depopulation 101. I was talking about how those things they were making everybody take or lose your job or whatever was going to start a future pan D that was going to make everybody think once. So essentially they're going to turn on those towers. All right. The frequencies are going to interact with what's in that, and it's going to make everybody look like they're getting really sick. And that's what they're going to blame it on. And it's kind of weird because the same thing's been said about what happened in 1918, because they said that's when radio was starting to get rolled out around that time. Now that one, I don't know. Could be BS. I've heard of it, haven't looked into it that much, but I'm sorry. I was one of the first people, you can even go back and look, that was making a video that I had, and I'm telling you, you call it discernment, call it premonition, call it whatever you want to call it. My wife knows it, my family knows it. The people that know me know it, and I actually talked about it way earlier on, that I said there's something, I got a feeling that's going to be in that is going to interact with frequencies or something, and it's going to get activated, and that will be what it is. So when people started, you know, having all these heart issues and stuff like that, I was like, I don't think that's really the end game. What's going to happen is, like I said, it's going to be like a kill switch that they're going to hit. And think about it. Back with the C-Vid, oh, there you go. I should never say that. Back with the C event, okay, back in 2020, nobody took it as serious because nobody was really seeing it. They were telling you hospitals were full. I know that was complete and utter BS, at least where I lived. And they told you a lot of stuff that we found out wasn't true. We're watching nurses dancing in hospitals on TikTok. It's like, oh yeah, it seems real bad. And here's the thing is, this is why I never took it serious at all. And you're talking in the whole years of spans that it was going on. I know a lot of people, I mean a lot of people, okay, that spiders out everywhere, from in-laws moving outwards to friends to friends to friends, moving out everywhere, okay? I don't know one person that got unalived by that C event, okay? If there was really a Pan D going on, how is that possible? I don't know one person. My wife knows a ton of people, doesn't know one person. Everybody I know that is friends, they're like, yep, I don't know one person. They know a bunch of people that were really old, and it could have been just like how the FLU seemed to just disappear. Like, that was the funniest crap they were pushed on you guys. They said that just vanished, up and vanished when the whole C event happened. But that's what people need to understand, is there's way more going on here than what meets the eye. And that's what I believe is. I believe that, like, Bill Gates told you flat out and grinned about it. He said, oh, the next one they'll pay attention to. Because think about this. When people see actual people piling up all over the place, and there is a run on the hospitals and things do get crazy, people will believe it then. And what's crazy is they call it, in mind control, it's called an anchor event. Okay, so what that essentially was an anchor event set in your head that what'll happen is as soon as this type of stuff kicks off, it'll anchor right in and people will just, it's like being conditioned. Boom, they'll kick into gear and they'll know what to do, which is what? Go inside your house. Now, when this all happens, like even when it was happening back in 2020, because that was right around the time when I was pretty much starting to retire, they're like, go inside. Now, the first year, because that was the first year that I was getting into close to retirement. I was feeling a little weird about it because I was like, I don't know what this is. And I had, for what I was doing, I still had to go and meet with people every day for business. So I was kind of like, I don't know what this is, but hey, screw it. I'd rather, be taken out by that than taken out by economic downturn, because you don't really have a choice. You can pick one or the other. So I chose to do what I had to do to take care of my family. And I was at that last year. I was like, I want to be, going into retirement. This ain't going to derail me. I'm going to have to do what I got to do. And I trusted God, and it worked out just fine. And if anything, business was booming in 2020. That was one of my biggest years. Crypto exploded, big time exploded. That was when we went on the whole big Doge run. If for the people that were in that, remember that, man. A lot of people made a lot of money off that. But what had happened was, I remember what it was like when that had first started out, and people had no idea what was going on, and they were pushing us into that. So like I said, now that I look at it and how old I am now versus 6 years ago, so that's what it was. It was right about that, where I was on the cusp of retiring and finally getting away from all that. So the point of what I was saying is, it was at a point where when they were like, hey, go in your house and stay in your house. Like if they do it now and they say about all the stuff going on, it's not going to change anything that I'm doing right now anyways. It's like, okay, go stay in your house. Well, I'm pretty much at the house all the time anyways. But I can tell you this, I have a weird feeling that I'm not going to be the one to tell you guys to not care about it, and that it's not that, and that it is really some stuff that's coming from towers that they're going to do it. I'm not going to say that to anybody, because see, essentially, what if it's a trap? What if they get all these people that were the anti-mask wearers to say, oh, I ain't feeding into this BS again. I'm going out and doing what I want to do. And then something happens. So I wouldn't put it past, it being a possibility that they do release something. So all I can say is this: I will do my due diligence. I will be here reporting on it. And like I said, it's not going to really change my daily routine, because I'm a homebody type person anyways. I'm at home. I'm in the studio. I got everything I need right here at home. I don't really go out that much. But all I can say is this: do not let the fear of what they're pushing change you in any way, shape, or form. You can't do that. Because what I've noticed is, you think I would be watching the news all the time and everything to see the crap, because I watch it for a good laugh half the time. But I wasn't looking too much into this. There's so much going on with these alien disclosures and everything that I started to look into it today. I flipped on the news and I was like, wow, they're pushing this Hanta crap like hard. And I was like, but then when you tune it right off, you're like, wow, it's gone. It's BS. So I'm noticing what's, like I told you, what to be cautious about is the fact that the 6-year interval, and the fact that they are feeding into this well. It's got that feeling of the gaslighting like they did in 2020. Oh, they locked down 50 million people in China, but it's nothing to worry about. Everything's taken. Like they ran that all the way up till the 9th inning with everybody saying, oh, it's not a problem. It's nothing to worry about. But then we found out, and I told everybody in the beginning too. I have the Facebook post to prove it. I said, yeah, and I had nurses and doctors telling me I was crazy. They were like, "Oh, Elias, you're nuts. This is not communicable. It's not gonna go nowhere. This is not spread human to human. It's not that." And I said, "Oh, really?" Well, we'll see about that. And what happened? I turned out to be right. But all I could say is this. Stay informed, but do not let these people put fear in you. The only thing you could do is take everything one day at a time. But more than anything, trust God. Don't trust in man. Don't trust in what they're telling you. Because half the time it's all scare tactics. But now is a time, I can guarantee you this, is to keep your eyes open more than you ever have.